The Galactic Council chamber was silent, not the normal silence of space, but a heavy silence, the kind that followed bad news. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in their floating seats, their strange eyes fixed on a large holographic screen at the center of the room. The message had come from the outer edge of known space, Terran space, human territory. The message was marked with the highest warning level. Urgent. Unidentified human behavior detected. The Council had faced many dangers before. They had survived star collapses that swallowed entire systems. They had defeated machine species that felt no fear. They had wiped out civilizations that grew too aggressive. But humans were different. Humans were new. Humans were emotional. Humans were unpredictable. The High Archivist activated the recording. At first, the screen showed a standard space battle. An alien patrol fleet had cornered a single human ship near a dead moon. The human vessel was old by galactic standards. Weak shields, limited weapons, no escape path. The alien commanders watching the battle were calm. Victory was certain. The human ship was surrounded, weapons charged, engines damaged, communications jammed. Then the audio feed activated. The Council expected fear. They expected begging. They expected silence. They expected screams. Instead, a strange sound filled the chamber. Ha, ha, ha. Some Council members shifted uncomfortably. The sound was rough, uncontrolled, emotional. It was laughter, not quiet laughter, not nervous laughter. Strong, confident laughter. The High Archivist paused the recording. "What is this sound?" one alien leader asked. "Human laughter," the Archivist replied. Confusion spread across the chamber. The recording resumed. Inside the human ship, alarms were screaming. Lights flickered. The ship shook from incoming fire. And the humans were laughing. One human leaned back in his seat, smiling as sparks flew around him. Another human wiped blood from his face and laughed louder. They looked calm, almost happy. The alien patrol fired their final warning. Surrender immediately. The human captain replied with a smile in his voice. No. The laughter grew louder. Then the human ship exploded. But it was not a normal explosion. The ship detonated in a perfect, controlled blast. Hidden charges tore through space. 3 alien warships vanished in fire and broken metal. The remaining ships fled in panic. The Council chamber fell into chaos. How is this possible? Why would they destroy themselves? Why were they laughing? The recording ended. Silence returned. But this time it was filled with fear. The High Archivist spoke slowly. This was not the first time. He pulled up more recordings. Another battle. Another trapped human unit. Another impossible situation. And every time, laughter. Humans laughed while outnumbered. They laughed while wounded. They laughed while facing death. And then something terrible happened to their enemies. An alien war strategist stood up. "This behavior is illogical," he said. "Laughter is a sign of emotional weakness." The Archivist shook his head, then explained this. A new hologram appeared. It showed battle outcomes. Whenever humans laughed before combat, the probability of alien victory dropped sharply. Whenever humans laughed together, human survival increased. The room grew colder. A council elder whispered, "That sound, it should not exist." Another leader asked a question no one wanted to ask. Why would a species laugh when death is certain? The Archivist answered quietly, "Because humans see something we do not." The Council ordered an immediate deep study of humanity. They accessed Earth's history. They saw humans laugh during wars. They saw humans laugh during disasters. They saw humans laugh at their own mistakes. They even laughed while telling stories about their failures. This confused the alien scientists. Most advanced species had removed strong emotion long ago. Emotion caused hesitation. Emotion caused fear. But humans did not remove emotion. They embraced it. One alien psychologist made a disturbing observation. "When humans laugh in danger," she said, "they are not denying fear. They are accepting it." The Council demanded clarification. The psychologist continued. "Human laughter appears when fear no longer controls them. When fear is accepted, it loses power." This idea terrified the Council. Fear was the foundation of galactic control. Fear stopped rebellions. Fear ended wars quickly. Fear made enemies predictable. But humans? Humans laughed at fear. The council replayed the first recording again. The human ship, the smiling faces, the laughter, then the explosion. An alien commander felt something unfamiliar twist inside him. Doubt. If humans laughed before their greatest acts of destruction, what would happen if they laughed together? What would happen if the entire species laughed as one? The High Archivist ended the session with a single command. Observe humanity closely. Do not provoke them. And if you ever hear that sound on the battlefield, he paused, pray that you are not the reason they are laughing. Far away, in Terran space, a human ship drifted through the stars. Inside, a young soldier listened to an old recording of human history, a joke from centuries ago. He smiled and laughed. The Galactic Council did not sleep. For 3 cycles, the greatest minds of the galaxy studied humanity. They expected to find madness. They expected to find a flaw in human thinking. Instead, they found something far more dangerous. They found a pattern. Deep inside the Council's research station, human battle recordings played on endless loops. Scientists watched carefully. They slowed down every moment. They analyzed breathing patterns, eye movement, heart rate. Every time humans face impossible danger, the same thing happened. First silence, then someone smiled, then laughter. Not always loud, not always long, but always there. An alien neuroscientist named Varkel stared at the data in disbelief. This makes no sense, he muttered. He had studied fear across 50 species. Fear was simple. When danger appeared, brain activity spiked, muscles tightened, logic decreased. Survival instinct took control. Fear made beings predictable, but humans broke the pattern. When fear spiked, something strange followed. Their stress levels dropped. Their focus increased. Their heart rate stabilized. It was as if laughter reset their minds. Varkel requested deeper access to human history files. What he found disturbed him. Ancient human wars. Soldiers laughing in muddy trenches. Pilots joking before dangerous missions. Firefighters smiling before entering burning buildings. Even explorers laughing before stepping into unknown lands. Varkel leaned back slowly. This is not battle madness, he whispered. This is adaptation. Meanwhile, in another chamber, military analysts ran simulations. They recreated dozens of battles between humans and advanced alien fleets. In scenarios where humans showed fear, they lost quickly. In scenarios where humans showed anger, they fought harder but still lost. But in scenarios where humans laughed, the results changed. Humans took extreme risks. They attempted impossible strategies. They sacrificed small units to create larger victories. And most disturbing of all, they succeeded far more often than expected. An alien general slammed his claw on the table. They are unpredictable. Yes, another officer replied quietly, because they are not trying to survive. The room turned silent. What do you mean? The general asked. The officer pointed to a screen. When humans laugh before battle, it usually means they have already accepted death. Murmurs filled the room. The officer continued. They stop fighting to survive. They start fighting to win. This idea spread quickly through the council. A species that no longer feared death could not be controlled. But the research was not finished. The council ordered a cultural analysis of Earth. Millions of human entertainment files were downloaded. Comedy shows, war movies, historical speeches, social media clips. Alien translators struggled to understand human humor. Humans joked about their own weakness. They joked about failure. They joked about disasters. They even joked about extinction-level events. One alien researcher almost shut down the program. This is disrespectful to survival, she said. But Varkel stopped her. Look deeper. The researcher slowed a video from Earth's past. A group of humans stood in a city after a terrible disaster. Buildings were broken. Smoke filled the sky. And yet, someone told a joke. People laughed. Not because the situation was good, but because they refused to let it break them. Varkel felt something cold in his chest. Laughter he said slowly, is not happiness. It is resistance. The room fell silent. If this was true, then every time humans laughed in battle, it was a message that said, "You cannot control us." Back in the simulation chamber, new data arrived. A deep space probe had recorded human military training exercises. The footage showed soldiers running drills. They were exhausted, covered in dirt, muscles shaking. One soldier fell. Another helped him up. They both laughed. Then they continued. The alien observers expected this to lower discipline. Instead, performance improved. Team coordination increased. Reaction time became faster. Morale rose sharply. An analyst made a quiet observation. When one human laughs, others feel stronger. This was the final piece. Human laughter was contagious. It spread confidence. It spread courage. It created unity. And unity was power. The High Council gathered once more. The chamber lights dimmed as Varkel presented his final report. Human laughter activates neural pathways that reduce panic, he explained. It increases problem-solving ability under stress. It strengthens group bonds. And most importantly, he paused, it signals that humans have stopped fearing the outcome. A heavy silence filled the chamber. One elder finally spoke. If they do not fear death, what do they fear? Varkel searched through all collected data, human interviews, literature, war diaries. He answered carefully. They fear failure. They fear losing each other. They fear giving up. The council members exchanged uneasy looks. Those fears were far more powerful than self-preservation. An empire could threaten extinction, but it could not threaten a human's loyalty to their own species. The High Commander of the fleet leaned forward. So their laughter is not madness. No, Varkel replied. It is a warning. The commander's voice lowered. A warning of what? Varkel's eyes reflected the holographic stars above them. That, whatever we planned, they have already considered worse. The chamber grew colder. Far away on Earth, children played in a park. Two of them argued over a simple game. One lost. He crossed his arms dramatically. Then both children burst into laughter and started again. On a nearby bench, an old human veteran watched them. He smiled softly because he understood something the galaxy was just beginning to learn. When humans laugh, it means they are ready. The Galactic Council decided that observation was no longer enough. Studying humans from a distance created theories. But theory did not stop fear. They needed proof. They needed to know if human laughter was truly a weapon or just a strange coincidence. So they designed a test. Not a war, not an invasion, a controlled encounter. A small alien task force was sent to the edge of human-controlled space. Their orders were clear. Capture a human unit alive. No destruction. No large conflict. The aliens believed this would be simple. They chose a human patrol ship traveling alone. Medium size. No heavy weapons. No visible support nearby. Perfect. The alien fleet emerged from hyperspace without warning. Human sensors screamed. Red lights flashed across the bridge. The human ship tried to maneuver, but energy nets locked it in place. Engines failed. Weapons went offline. Within minutes, the ship was powerless. Alien boarding teams moved in. Inside the council chamber, observers watched the live feed carefully. This is where fear should appear, one scientist said. The alien troops breached the hull. Human soldiers raised their hands. They were surrounded, weapons aimed directly at their heads. The alien commander activated his translator. You are captured, he announced. Resistance is meaningless. The humans remained silent. For several long seconds, no one moved. Then one human soldier exhaled sharply and smiled. A low sound escaped his throat, a soft laugh. The alien commander stiffened. The council observers leaned forward. Another human joined in, then another. Soon, the room was filled with quiet human laughter. Not loud, not wild, calm, controlled, almost relaxed. The alien commander felt his grip tighten on his weapon. Explain this behavior, he demanded. The human squad leader looked up slowly. You really don't know, the human said. Know what? The commander asked. The human smiled wider. That look on your face, he said. That's when things stop going your way. The laughter continued. The alien commander felt something strange inside him. Unease. These humans were defeated. They should be afraid. But they were acting as if this moment had already passed. Silence, the commander ordered. The laughter stopped instantly. The sudden quiet was worse. The human leader spoke again. You planned this perfectly, he said calmly. That's impressive. The commander felt pride. Yes, he replied. Your species underestimates us. The human shook his head. No, he said. You underestimated time. The council observers frowned. What does that mean? One asked. At that exact moment, alarms erupted across the alien ship. Energy readings spiked. Unknown signals appeared on scanners. Commander! An officer shouted. Multiple objects decloaking nearby. The commander turned in shock. Human stealth drones appeared from empty space. Dozens of them. No, hundreds. They swarmed the alien ships like insects. EMP bursts disabled systems. Communications went dark. Weapons failed. The alien commander stared at the human squad leader. You planned this, he said slowly. The human nodded. We hoped you'd take the bait, he replied. But you let yourself be captured, the commander said. The human shrugged. Someone had to make you feel safe. In the council chamber, panic spread. This was not a rescue mission. This was a trap. Human reinforcements arrived seconds later. A hidden fleet emerged from hyperspace. Alien ships were surrounded now, outnumbered, outmaneuvered. The situation had completely reversed. The human squad leader looked at the alien commander. You see, he said, we laughed because the hard part was already done. The commander felt his confidence collapse. You used yourselves as bait, he whispered. Yes, the human said. We calculated the risk. You accepted death, the commander said. The human shook his head again. No, he replied. We accepted loss. There's a difference. The alien ship surrendered minutes later. The test had failed. Or rather, it had succeeded far too well. Back in the council chamber, the High Archivist ended the transmission. No one spoke. The silence was heavy. They knew, one council member whispered. They knew we were watching. Varkel nodded slowly. They wanted us to see, he said. To see what? Another asked. Varkel answered carefully. That their laughter is not instinct. It is a choice. The council reviewed the encounter again. The moment the humans laughed, the moment the alien commander felt doubt, fear had shifted sides. That laughter, an elder said quietly, it breaks authority. Yes, Varkel agreed. It tells the enemy that fear no longer works. A military strategist stood. Then how do we fight them? He asked. Varkel looked tired. We don't, he said. But if conflict becomes unavoidable? Varkel closed his eyes. Then we pray they stop laughing. Far away, aboard the human rescue ship, the captured soldiers sat together. One of them finally let out a loud laugh. Did you see his face? He said. Another laughed with him. The squad leader smiled but stayed quiet, because he knew something important. The galaxy was watching now, and once humans showed their hand, there was no going back. The laughter had been heard, and fear would never work the same way again. The news spread faster than the council wanted. At first, it was classified. Then it leaked. A short report. A failed controlled encounter. Human forces outsmarting an advanced alien task group. But what truly frightened the galaxy was not the loss. It was one small detail hidden inside the report. Human units displayed laughter during capture. Across dozens of alien worlds, military leaders read the same words and felt the same cold reaction. Alien fleets had rules. Fear was the foundation of every strategy. Show power, create panic, force surrender. It had worked for thousands of years. Until humans, on a heavily fortified alien world, a war council gathered. The leaders stood around a massive star map. Human territory glowed softly at the edge. They allowed themselves to be captured, one general said. This makes no sense. Another replied, It makes sense if fear no longer controls them. That sentence changed everything. Soon, alien commanders began reviewing their own battle footage involving humans. They noticed something they had ignored before. The moment humans laughed, alien officers hesitated. Orders slowed. Confidence weakened. Fear quietly moved across the battlefield. From humans to aliens. An alien fleet commander remembered his first fight with humans. He had cornered them. He had superior weapons. Then a human pilot laughed over open comms. Not shouting, not mocking, just laughing. The commander remembered feeling angry, then unsure, then afraid. He had never spoken of it. Now he understood why. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council struggled to regain control. They ordered strict silence. No more human encounters without approval. No more tests. But it was too late. Fear had entered the system. Alien soldiers whispered to each other. If they laugh, retreat. If they laugh, something is wrong. If they laugh, we are already late. Human laughter became a warning sign. A red flag across the stars. Varkel, the alien scientist, watched the growing panic with concern. This reaction is dangerous, he told the council. Fear spreads faster than fleets. One elder responded sharply. You speak as if fear is new. Varkel shook his head. Fear is not new, he said, but this direction is. He pointed at the map. Fear has always flowed outward, from the powerful to the weak. Now, he paused, it flows inward. Alien border worlds began pulling back patrols near human space, not because of losses, but because of uncertainty. A commander who doubts makes mistakes. And no one wanted to be the one who heard laughter too late. On Earth, humans noticed a change. Military analysts saw alien fleets reposition. Trade ships avoided Terran routes. Long-range scanners showed hesitation. Humans laughed about it, but not with arrogance, with understanding. A human strategist explained it simply. When they stop trying to scare you, he said, it means they're scared. Human leadership remained calm. No celebrations. No threats. Just preparation. Because humans knew something the galaxy did not. Fear does not disappear. It changes shape. The Council finally approved a risky move. A direct message to Earth. Not a threat. Not a demand. A question. The message was transmitted across space. Why do your soldiers laugh in battle? On Earth, the message reached a quiet room filled with human representatives. They read it carefully. Then one of them smiled. Not out of humor. Out of honesty. The reply was short. Because fear already did its worst. The message shocked the Council. Varkel translated it slowly. They mean fear already happened, he explained. Everything after that is choice. This answer terrified them, because fear was the galaxy's greatest weapon, and humans had moved past it. Meanwhile, alien military academies changed training protocols. They taught soldiers to ignore human laughter, to treat it as noise. But it did not work. Simulations proved it. Whenever laughter appeared, reaction times dropped. Decision-making slowed. Even knowing the data, fear remained, because laughter was not a sound. It was a signal that said, you cannot break us. The galaxy entered a quiet standoff. No open war. No peace. Just distance. Watching. Waiting. And in that silence, fear grew stronger. One alien commander finally broke protocol. Against orders, he launched a small probe into deep human space. He wanted answers. The probe recorded a human military exercise. Explosions. Smoke. Chaos. Soldiers running through fire. One fell. Another pulled him up. They laughed together. Not because it was easy, but because it was hard. The commander ended the feed. His claws trembled. These beings, he whispered, are not fearless. They are worse. They are fearless together. That realization changed the galaxy, because fear could isolate. Fear could divide. But laughter? Laughter united humans in the worst moments. The Council gathered one final time that cycle. The High Archivist spoke with a tired voice. We have always asked how to defeat our enemies. He looked at the human systems glowing on the map. Now we must ask a different question. The room waited. How do you fight a species that laughs at the moment fear is supposed to win? No one answered. Far away, on a quiet human outpost, a young recruit listened to an old recording. It was a message from a veteran. When things get bad, the voice said, and fear tries to own you, the recruit smiled. Laugh first. For a long time, the galaxy avoided open war with humanity. Fear had shifted. Confidence had cracked. No one wanted to be the first to test the humans again. But peace built on fear does not last. Far beyond the Council's control, a powerful alien empire made a different choice. The Zereth Dominion did not believe in hesitation. They did not fear laughter. They believed in power. The Dominion had conquered 12 star systems. They crushed rebellions before they began. They ruled through overwhelming force. When they reviewed the reports about humans, they saw weakness, emotional instability. Their high warlord declared, laughter in battle is mental collapse. He refused to accept the Council's caution. Fear is universal, he said. Humans are not special. And so the Dominion prepared for war. Not a small test, not a border conflict, a full invasion. Without warning, Dominion fleets jumped into human space. Massive warships darkened the stars above outer colonies. Orbital cannons powered up. Planetary shields trembled. Across human settlements, alarms screamed. Emergency broadcasts activated. Civilians rushed underground. Military units scrambled into position. The Dominion expected panic. They monitored human communications closely. They expected chaos. Instead, they heard something strange. Human military channels were calm. Orders were clear. Voices were steady. Then, in one command center, a soldier made a quiet joke about the size of the Dominion ships. Someone laughed. It spread. Within minutes, entire defense crews were laughing softly while preparing weapons. Dominion intelligence officers stared at their screens in confusion. Why are they laughing? One demanded. The invasion began. Dominion ships fired first. Entire human defense stations were destroyed. Outer colonies suffered heavy losses. Human fleets were outnumbered 3-1. This was no trap. This was survival. In the Dominion flagship, the High Warlord watched confidently. Now, he said, they will understand fear. But on a damaged human cruiser, something unexpected happened. The captain looked at the battle display. Losses were high. Odds were terrible. He took a deep breath. Then he laughed. Not loudly, not wildly, just once. The bridge crew looked at him. He smiled. Well, he said, let's make this interesting. Across human space, similar moments happened. Pilots laughed before launching into impossible dogfights. Engineers laughed while repairing burning systems. Ground troops laughed before charging against armored Dominion units. The Dominion soldiers felt it. At first, they dismissed it. Then they noticed something worse. Humans did not retreat in panic. They adapted. When outgunned, they split into smaller units. When surrounded, they attacked the weakest point. When overwhelmed, they sacrificed ships to disable larger Dominion vessels. Every risky maneuver was followed by laughter. Dominion officers began hesitating. Is this another trap? Are reinforcements coming? What are we missing? Doubt spread through their ranks. The High Warlord grew angry. They are dying, he shouted. Why do they laugh while losing? But humans were not thinking about losing. They were thinking about time. Every delay bought time. Every risky strike slowed Dominion advance. Every sacrifice created opportunity. Human laughter was not denial. It was decision. They had already accepted the cost. On Earth, global leaders addressed their people. No dramatic speeches. No promises of easy victory. One leader simply said, they believe fear will break us. He paused. They do not understand who we are. Behind him, military commanders were smiling, not because the situation was good, but because it was clear. When humans are cornered, they do not freeze. They focus. The Dominion pushed deeper. They reached the outer defense ring of Earth. This was the moment the galaxy watched. Council observers activated long-range feeds. If humans were going to break, it would be now. Dominion supercarriers prepared a final strike. Their firepower could scar continents. Human fleets gather for one desperate stand. The Dominion High Warlord opened a communication channel. Surrender, he demanded, or be erased. On the human flagship, the Admiral listened carefully. He looked at the tactical map. Losses were heavy. Victory was uncertain. He muted the channel. The bridge crew waited. He exhaled slowly. Then he laughed. The sound was calm, almost warm. Tell them, he said, we decline. Across every human frequency, the same thing happened. Small laughter, quiet jokes, final preparations. The Dominion fired, and Earth answered. Hidden defense platforms activated from the dark side of the moon. Stealth fleets emerged from asteroid fields. Civilian ships converted into attack drones. It was not overwhelming. It was not perfect, but it was coordinated, and it was fearless. Dominion formations broke under unpredictable assaults. Human ships rammed when weapons failed. Pilots made impossible turns. Ground batteries targeted precise weak points. The Dominion High Warlord felt something new. Not anger, not confidence, fear, because every time he thought humans had reached their limit, they laughed again and attacked harder. The battle for Earth raged for days. When it ended, the Dominion fleet was shattered, not destroyed completely, but broken. Retreat signals echoed through space. The High Warlord stared at the remains of his armada. He whispered to himself, they were supposed to fear us. But in the final recorded transmission from a human pilot, laughter filled the channel. And behind that laughter was something worse than madness. Unity. As Dominion ships fled, one simple message spread across the galaxy. Humanity did not win because they were stronger. They won because fear did not control them. And that terrified everyone. The war with the Zereth Dominion ended, but the fear did not. Across the galaxy, damaged ships drifted in silence. Burned fleets returned home. Reports were written. Casualties were counted. The Dominion had expected easy victory. Instead, they carried back something far heavier than defeat. They carried doubt. The Galactic Council gathered again, but this time the chamber felt different. No one questioned the reports anymore. No one called human laughter a mistake. They had seen the recordings. Human ships exploding in controlled sacrifice. Human pilots joking before final attacks. Human soldiers smiling through smoke and fire. And Earth still standing. Varkel stood before the council one last time. His voice was calm, but tired. The Dominion was not defeated by superior weapons, he said, nor by superior numbers. He paused. They were defeated by psychology. A hologram appeared behind him. It showed battle statistics from the war. Every major human counterattack had one common factor: laughter recorded on open channels, before risky maneuvers, before sacrificial strikes, before impossible defenses. An elder spoke quietly. So the sound truly means something. Yes, Varkel replied. It means they have chosen. Chosen what? Another asked. Varkel looked around the chamber. They have chosen to act without fear controlling them. The room was silent. Fear had always been the final weapon. Threatened extinction and species surrender. Threatened suffering and enemies kneel. But humans did not kneel. They calculated loss. They accepted it. Then they moved forward anyway. On Earth, the war left scars. Cities damaged. Families grieving. Memorials built. Humans did not celebrate wildly. They remembered. At one memorial site, a group of soldiers stood quietly. One of them began telling a story about a fallen friend. The story was funny, simple, about a mistake during training years ago. A few soldiers smiled. Then one laughed softly. Others joined. The laughter mixed with tears. It was not disrespect. It was love. An alien observer drone recorded this scene from orbit. The footage later played inside the council chamber. Varkel watched carefully. They are mourning, an elder said. And laughing, another added. Varkel nodded slowly. That is the part we never understood. Human laughter was not denial of pain. It existed beside pain. It allowed humans to carry both at the same time. Loss and strength. Grief and courage. Fear and action. That combination was rare. Most advanced species removed emotion to gain stability. Humans kept emotion and built strength from it. That made them dangerous, but also remarkable. Months after the war, the Zereth Dominion requested diplomatic talks. The same empire that had tried to crush Earth now approached carefully. Their new commander spoke honestly. "We misjudged your species," he admitted. The human representative listened calmly. "You believe fear would end us," she replied. The Dominion commander lowered his head slightly. "Yes." The human smiled faintly. "Fear ends people who fight to survive," she said. "We fight for each other." That sentence spread across the galaxy. It appeared in military reports, political discussions, academic studies. Humans fight for each other. That explained the laughter. When one human laughs, others remember they are not alone. When fear attacks the mind, laughter breaks its grip. It reminds them that no matter how dark the moment is, they stand together. The Galactic Council finally voted on humanity's status, not as a threat, not as prey, but as equals. The official statement was simple: humanity has demonstrated psychological resilience beyond standard models. But privately, the elders used different words. They cannot be ruled by fear. And that meant something powerful, because any civilization that cannot be ruled by fear must be treated with respect. Years later, human and alien fleets trained together, joint exercises, shared technology, shared space. During one training mission, a young alien officer found himself beside a human pilot. The simulation glitched. Enemy numbers doubled unexpectedly. The alien officer felt panic rising. "We are outmatched," he said. The human pilot glanced at the display. He exhaled slowly. Then he laughed. Not loudly, just once. The alien officer froze. For a moment, old fear returned. But the human smiled at him. "Relax," the human said. "Now it gets fun." The alien hesitated. Then something strange happened. He felt his own tension drop, just slightly. They adjusted formation, took a risky angle, turned defense into offense. The simulation ended in victory. Afterward, the alien officer reviewed the footage. He saw the moment fear almost controlled him, and the moment laughter broke it. He finally understood. Human laughter was not a warning of destruction. It was a signal of decision, a moment where fear stopped leading, and courage began. Back in the council chamber, the first recording of human laughter still existed in the archives. The trapped ship, the calm voices, the explosion. But now the elders watched it differently. They no longer saw madness. They saw clarity, a species choosing its path, even in the face of death. And across the stars, one truth became clear to all advanced civilizations. When humans laugh in the darkest moment, it does not mean they are losing. It means they have already decided who they are. And that is why the galaxy once feared the sound. Because in that laughter, there is no surrender.